Howdy, my name's Anne McCarthy. I'm a developer relations wrangler at Automatic, and this is a video about exploring the query loop block. So what is the query loop block? The query loop block is an advanced block that allows you to display posts based on specific parameters. It's the PHP loop without the code, basically. In this case, if you haven't heard of the PHP loop, you can think of query as just simply being a way to represent how this block asks for posts in the database, with the loop being the part that cycles through and displays the result. Basically, it's a more complex and powerful latest post block. With various block patterns integrated into the block setup, you can do things like create a portfolio or a page full of your favorite recipes. It's also one of the milestones for full site editing. What are the benefits for users? The core benefit of this work is that it allows you, without using code, to create fairly customized layouts of posts, including custom post types. This means you can do things like easily display your last 10 posts, or display all your posts with the categories hikes and mountains to show off your adventures. You could create a portfolio page for your latest work, or you could do something super specific, like showing off 3 posts from your recipe category in alphabetical order. Either way, the query loop block can do loads, and you can do you with whatever you're trying to accomplish. It's important to note that while this is mainly a tool for theme authors, it can be used by more advanced users who like to dig into customization. In the future, expect to see variations of the query loop block power more user-friendly named and developed blocks. When and how can I use it? You can use it now. It's available as of 5.8. We'll continue to see improvements in future releases since it's an area focused for full site editing. Let's check out 2 demos though, showing off the general block itself with a portfolio page and some more advanced features. Let's create a portfolio page. So I'll call this portfolio. From there, I'll add the query loop block. You'll see this setup, which is pretty neat. So the whole configuration screen. If you go here, there's some neat patterns you can choose from. So in this case, I actually really like this pattern in particular. So I'm going to select it like this. From there, I'm going to show off list view, which is a super neat tool that you can use to navigate complex content. And it helps you just see everything on the page. So in this case, you can see there's 2 columns, column 1, column 2, and inside each is a query loop block. And it's displaying my content. It's pretty cool. If I go all the way up and select the group block, I can actually make this. It's like right now this is pretty narrow. Let's say I want it a bit wider. Make it full width, even it out a bit. I can do things to actually edit the blocks within this. So within this query loop block, there's the post featured image. There's the post title block, which is another new block coming. Then there's the post date block. And you can actually add basically other new blocks into this as well, which is pretty cool. So if I had post content in these, I could actually add post content, which is pretty nifty. In this case, all of these are just basically featured image with pretty simple titles, but you can see how this can get pretty cool and you can customize it to your liking. You can also do things like for this one, I could change the heading level. So if I wanted this to be H3 instead, you actually see it updates all the way down. I actually really like it at H2, so I'll keep it at that. I can center it. That looks pretty good. I'm going to center this too just to match it, and it'll match all the way down. Pretty neat. You can even do more complex stuff. So opening back up list view, you could actually set colors. So let's say you want a different background for this entire section. You could hit custom colors, drag all through here until you find something that you like. In this case, try and find something that matches this well. We'll make it a little bit more red. Yeah, something like that. That looks pretty cool. We'll keep it there. And you can set this as you'd like across the board for all of these things. Another cool thing that I actually really like is you can set this to link to the post. So now when people click on your featured image, they'll automatically be taken to the post, which is also pretty neat. From there, if you want to do more customizations, so you want to align this center to just have everything centered, you can do that as well. So now we're looking like we're in business here. To get even more complex though, let's say you wanted to edit the actual query that you're using. So maybe you want to have more items shown. Maybe we'll increase that to 3. Boom. Now there's another one. And the third one matches the other 2. Let's say I want to do the same thing here. I can select it all the way up. increase it as well. And I'll also show a third one here. So now I have even more items on the page. So there's also some neat settings where you can actually change what's inherited here and exclude different things, specify specific categories. So in this case, I might just say I only want parks to show. So now only parks are showing in this column. But then let's say I want, in this one, I only want buildings to show. Boom. So in this column now I have the query loop showing me just parks. And this one I have it showing me buildings. So at this point, let's look at some of the more advanced features that will be coming to WordPress 5.9 with the query loop block, just building on what we did before. So I'm going to move a little bit quickly just because we did the earlier version of this. I like looking at the grid view. I'm going to add this in. It's my favorite. From there, I'm going to use the list view to select the group. I'm going to set to full width just because I like the view of that. From there, you can actually edit the featured image block, and this is new with WordPress or with Gutenberg 11.3, 11.4. So in this case, I could set the height to 200. I could also drag this stuff up and down. Pretty cool. So in this case, I'm going to set it to, I'll do 200. And you can see it reacts live, which is pretty neat. I'm going to do the same here. Very cool. I dig it. From there, I can actually use duotone filters on this, and it'll apply to every featured image in the query loop. So in this case, I'm going to select the grayscale. Looks pretty neat, but let's go a step further and actually have the highlight match this background green color. Very cool. And I'm actually going to do the reverse on this one just to make it kind of look funky. So again, I'm going to select the same one, but then the shadow I'm going to put as this green, and then the highlight do as black. And now it has this very cool looking inverted color, which is pretty neat. And now I'm all set using customizations with Duotone and with the featured image block. More are coming so that the featured image block can actually be customized in the same way you could with the image block. Another neat thing to call out is you can actually have the image linked to the post. So when someone's looking at this page, they can click on the image and it will link directly to the post. Just to make it even, I'm going to do the same thing here. There's also a neat different options to have the image scale differently. I'm going to keep it at cover just because that's how I like it. Hopefully this gets you excited though about what's to come with the query loop block and more with full site editing, and shows you a really practical way you can use these features on any site. So what's to come? Now that we've actually seen a demo, let's actually talk about what's planned for the future. So you can expect to see more work specifically around adding more pattern options, continued advancement of general features like adding better layout controls, and being able to select multiple custom post types. And you'll expect to see that the foundation of the query loop block will start powering less advanced and more user-friendly blocks. To get a taste of some future patterns, here are some from theme designers at Automatic. This is one of my favorites. I think it's really cool how the actual date is big and bold and really in your face. This one's more artsy. It has a very cool layout, very different in terms of the actual structure of the query loop block. And this one's really out there. It shows a very simplified version using the different pieces of the query loop. So where can I give feedback? So let's say you dig in, you explore the block, and now you have feedback that you'd like to give. You can give feedback directly on GitHub using the link shown here. Otherwise, you're welcome to join the FSE outreach program, where we actually have calls for testings about these exact features. It's a great place to have a more guided tour of these features as well, and to make your voice heard in feedback. Thanks for watching. If you want to stay connected to me, I'm at @AnnZazu in WordPress Direct Slack, or you can find me at nomad.blog. I have a contact form there, and I look forward to hearing from you. I hope this helped you feel a bit more excited about query loop block and how you can actually use it today.